As a kid, I just found it so sexy. So he was drunk. So, as a kid, I found it so sexy. It's like me and the guy from Lost Boys with the. That's their equivalent.
Wax on, wax off.
Cigarettes.
Excellent.
Hello, and welcome, Midlifers. We're your hosts, Fons
and Miss,
and we are your weekly podcast where it's not self-help but more help yourself to a smorgasbord of nostalgia, laughter, and a deep dive into the past.
Welcome, listeners, to today's show where we are starting off with a rant or rave, the good old dad jokes. Then and now, dating, I think pre-dick pic era, and Besties, best movie dance scenes.
So let's jump in.
Yeah! Before we start off with our rant and rave, we're just going to fill you in case you have listeners that aren't on our socials. We have in the past talked about our lack of bike riding for many, many, many years. Fons hadn't ridden a big bike for 30 years.
Yep.
I was in the same boat, but 10 years ago, I tried riding a bike, fell off and hadn't touched it since. So we actually faced our fears.
We rode a bike.
We rode a bike for the sake of content. We rode a bike. So we went to a park and saw if we could ride a bike.
Yeah. And Mez, I have to say, I watched Anthony Robbins, to get my confidence up for riding a bike. Yeah. You can do this. You can do this.
You needed extra reinforcement.
I did.
I felt like if I fell down, it'd be okay because we did go on the grass. So I was just like thinking I would fall down. And we were wobbly at the start, but we actually got it.
We got it.
We did
pretty much straight away.
Yeah, except for the turning
and
the braking.
That was hard. I because when you told me to brake, I thought because my old bike when I was 12, you had to put your pedals backwards.
That would have been the bike when you were 5. Surely when you were 12, you had the handlebar ones.
I had both.
Yeah.
It was quite liberating.
It was liberating. And I've got to tell you, I tried filming a story for this, but I had nowhere to film because I've got a GoPro. Last week, my youngest said, let's go for a bike ride. So I said, yes, okay. And we went for a bike ride. So it's my first proper bike ride in 30 years. And
That's excellent.
It was so good.
Well, can I tell you something?
Yes.
We went for a drive on the weekend and we saw some bikes on the side of the road people giving away and my husband picked them up and they're like new and I've now got my own bike and we're going to go bike riding.
Yes, it is so fun.
So, look, if I can add to this, I implore anyone who hasn't ridden a bike in years, give it a shot because it's really fun. I have no regrets about what we did.
Yeah, likewise. I'm glad we did. I think I'm sort of a bit spewing that I hadn't done it earlier with my other kids because I could have gone bike riding with them, but I was just too scared. So if you're scared of thinking that you'll fall over again, you might, but the fear is way worse than actually doing it. So just jump in
and be confident.
Yeah.
This is what I learned from Anthony Robbins. Have in your head that you can do this and push that pedal with confidence and you can do it.
You can do it. And I'm going to put a little link to our YouTube video of it in the show notes so you can have a look if you haven't seen it.
Rant, rave, rant, rave, yeah. Today, Mez, we are ranting and or raving dad jokes.
Dad jokes, which you actually did a mum joke just prior to this. Your son came in and said, I'm hungry.
And I said, hi, hungry, I'm mum. And he gave me a look.
That look.
It's always that rolling of the eyes, or as my son gave me a frown.
Yeah.
And
the like, there.
And I think I'm funny. Gave myself a chuckle as my dad did to me. I love it. I used to do it at school before I had kids. I used to do it to the teachers, and there was one teacher there, and she's like, really? She hated dad jokes. And I'd do it to her on purpose. And I still send her things that are like dad jokes.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Because, I think it is like when you have a kid that doesn't want it, you do it more. And that's what I did to her.
Yeah. I'll get you.
See you around like a rissole. Stuff like that. Yeah.
Here, I've got I Googled some bad jokes because I can't think of them off the cuff.
Yeah.
But I will say this, which we had talked about this before, a pun is the epitome of a dad joke.
Really?
I reckon, yeah. Especially like if you hear the news and they'll do a bad pun.
Yeah.
That's a dad
I
joke.
love a good pun, though.
I love a good pun.
It's very witty.
Yeah, but I hate when the news does it.
I don't mind. I enjoy it.
Oh, really?
Because, look, it's like, okay, when we used to go clubbing, right, we were very sarcastic. And someone said to me, sarcasm is the lowest point of humour.
Yeah.
And I disagree because you have to be quick and you're witty.
Yeah.
Same with dad jokes or these puns. Like, you're connecting it to what's happening in the moment and you're quick with it.
Yeah.
It's actually a good form of humour.
If you do think of it on the cuff, on the spot, yes. But if you're recycling the same old dad joke for years, come on, that's
I wonder if
rant.
people chat GPT dad jokes now.
But with that, if I sometimes I've tried for our socials to say, okay, this is our socials with this and that, it gives me dad jokes as the title. I'm like, no, ChatGPT does dad jokes. Just putting it out there.
I'm going to say something.
Yeah.
Why are they called dad jokes? Because I'm a mum and I'm a big giver of a joke.
Yeah.
Why is it a dad joke? Why does it have to be a parental? Why can't it be, I don't know,
equal rights for bad jokes?
lame humour?
Yes.
You're right.
All right. This is what Google's given me. Watch. This is so bad. Watch what you say around egg whites. They can't take a yolk. And what's the best way to say the dad joke? In a database.
Oh,
Dada.
Jesus.
Ba-dum-bum. That's what a dad joke finishes with. Ba-dum-bum.
A lot of the times,
yes.
It's like ba-dum-dum-tish is like the old lol.
Yeah.
Like when you added a lol at the end of a sentence, it's like dum-tish.
Right. So you can't put that in an emoji.
We have evolved. I have put that in emoji. I put a little drum symbol.
Is that what that means?
Yeah.
I don't know what emojis mean.
But look, dad jokes, they're something that makes people eye roll. They're cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
But being a giver of the jokes, like, they're
what do you
quick.
love?
They're innocent. It's all an innocence.
Actually,
They're
you're
not
right.
rude.
They aren't rude or smutty. They're just, they're very usually clean.
Yeah, they're family oriented.
Hence the dad mum joke.
I love a physical joke. I don't know. I'll say physical. I'll keep saying dad joke just to keep going.
Yeah.
But I always do the point on the shirt. Go, what's that on your shirt? And I go up the nose.
You do that. You've done that to my kids. And
I love it.
I've forgotten about that. I think I've got to bring it out to my kids because I used to get that from my brothers actually growing up, but more just to piss me off.
Growing up, we used to have smell the cheese. So you do that.
Yeah.
Smell the cheese.
That's very 80s, I think.
Yeah,
let's bring back smell the cheese.
We had a family friend do that to us.
Okay.
And by they're like, nah, that's for the cheese.
Yeah. My brother always did if I was looking the opposite direction, he'd put his finger down. Yeah, we'll go, hey, look at this. And you get a finger in your face. This is the joke brother one. I don't know. So we've got corniness, but corniness can go good and bad. Sometimes you're not in the mood for corny.
You've got to know your audience.
Well, that's the thing. Because I find with dad jokes, sometimes it's the timing. The matter, because often husbands think they're so hilarious and will pull out the dad joke at the worst time and it's like down like a lead balloon, especially if you've got a teenage daughter who's just pissed off sometimes and hormonal, and he'll pull out a dad joke and she just gives him the death
You've
stare.
got to read the room.
But they can't read the room. So that's where the dad joke, that's the
fails.
The failure of the bad dad joke.
I've never had a bad dad joke happen. And if it does happen, I go, well, there goes the fun police.
You are a walking dad joke, I tell you that.
Can't help it. Just natural.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have been a dad. But rant or rave, Miz, dad jokes.
Corny, eye-rolly, rave.
Oh, big rave for me. True right. Ripper, Rita.
Then and now.
Oh, dating, not something that happens in fairy tales anymore.
No.
Sometimes it can be a nightmare.
Often it's a nightmare. And when I was thinking about this, I think going back to our parents' generation, dinner dances, that's where a lot of especially from the Croatian community, they were immigrants into Australia. So they had their little community dances, and that's where they would do.
That's what my parents always talk about. San Remo Ballroom.
Oh, there you go.
They used to get called the fish market or the meat market or something.
That's how they date. That's how you mingle.
But back then, And even back when we were dating, it was all left up to charisma and fate.
Yes, yeah.
Like my parents met over the phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, mum prank called dad.
No way.
And he ended up getting fired and they fell in love. He asked her out on a date. He goes, you owe me a date. Got on a date. They're married now. 40-something years now.
Wow.
50 years next year.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So that's fate stepping in.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm thinking for us, dating, I'd always meet either at nightclubs, bars, and pool halls, billiards. Yes, I got a few dates out of that one, but it's all in person, obviously.
Yeah, that was the best.
Yeah.
Because you got to gauge what someone was like.
You could feel the chemistry straight away.
Yes.
It's one. Yeah.
I remember, can I say, I was in a nightclub and I was sitting down next to this guy. We just started chatting. Great chemistry. We both stood up. He was down here. And I gave him a fake number. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Story of my life.
But even for me, I'm not tall. And he was like there. I'm like, all right, we're done. But the charisma that a man had to have, even the braveness he had to have to come up to you.
And talk to you.
And that's all we wanted, charisma, which is now called Riz.
Riz, yeah. But in saying that, and I'm thinking a lot of the people that did end up dating or whatever, that I met at nightclubs and bars, we were both tipsy or would have had alcohol to help loosen it, you know.
Yeah.
And so then when you'd meet actually on the date, sometimes that chemistry would be gone. And and I've had one where it's a desperate pickup, as in like I just wanted to pash someone. So I did pash and so we'll end up going on a date.
Yeah.
Oh my God, in the light of day. I remember the whole time it was like about an hour and a half lunch date.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just counting down
Get
the
me
time.
out.
I just wanted to get the hell out of there. What have I done? Oh, yes.
Oh, it's great though. But this is the fun and games in dating. I mean, when you're in it, you're just like, when does it end?
Yeah.
But when you're out, like I look back at my dating phases fondly. Fondly.
Fondly, do you?
Yeah, oh, very much so. I think I've had 2 dating phases.
Yes.
Love them both.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I love dating.
I like the excitement of the potential of it. That's what's fun about it. And meeting new people,
knowing new places.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
Yeah.
To catch up and get introduced to different worlds.
Yeah, and finding new restaurants and then taking your girlfriends to it the next week.
Yeah.
I found this great place.
But it's funny, like in retrospect, when I look back, I don't think of the hard times as much. But when you're in it and just constantly loser after loser, it's like, oh my God. And that's,
is there something wrong with me? I remember that going in my head and going through a real down stage as well.
Yeah.
And that was like, that was more so in my second round of dating, like going through a real down phase. Because like you said, loser after loser, someone was stringing me on. But I suppose back then, so this is 2017 when I was dating, and technology ghosting and this and that. That didn't really happen, I think, back when we were dating in early 2000s.
Well, I can only think of one time where I got stood up for a date.
Oh, no.
Yes, and because I'm like an hour drive from the city. So I think I met him in a nightclub. I said, let's meet at this bar in the city. So I drove all the way there. 5 minutes before we due to meet, he texted us saying, oh, sorry. He basically bailed on me. I was like, oh, so shit.
Because you get dressed up.
Yeah, you get dressed up and everything. And look, if you let me know an hour beforehand, and then I was so shit. But I did, and ended up going to your place, actually.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And then I think we went to play pool or something.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so that was the only way to get ghosted, really, was to be stood up.
Yeah.
It's only happened once, luckily, to me.
I've been ghosted the second round of dating. Yeah, he just fizzled away.
Yeah.
Like it went from texting nonstop, and then all of a sudden it just went, went away. Were you? Did you do any dating sites back, like Plenty of Fish, OK Cupid?
Oh my gosh,
eHarmony?
No. So I've actually known my husband my whole life. We're family friends. I think I've sort of talked to my husband, getting to know him on that level, when sort of RSVP. That's the only one that came to mind.
RSVP, yeah.
So I did chat to 2 guys. One I met in person, really lovely, but just no chemistry.
Yeah.
And another guy I think we started to get along, but then that's when I hooked up with my husband, and that was the end of that. So I was like at the very start. And I remember those days, like the people that did catch up or hook up from online dating is very taboo. You'd be quite
hidden.
Yes. Yeah. How did you meet?
Or through friends.
Yes. Yeah. You wouldn't disclose it.
It was very embarrassing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But now it's just the norm.
It is the norm. And it's weird. Like, I am curious. So we went from dinner dances and that sort of thing to nightclubs and bars. It's all in person.
Yeah.
And now I would think tell me your second round of dating.
Stephen, I reckon my second round of dating
was all through online.
That's pretty much, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Although I had a few things happen to me. Like going for coffee during my lunch break, and another story, a guy stopped his car and asked for my number.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm like, I gave him my wrong number. And so I
still out there driving, searching for you.
A freaky thing that happened was I went to a bar and I just started talking to this guy, but nothing came of it. Didn't think of anything of it. And then on the Monday I went on Tinder and we both swiped right, and he goes, do you remember me from Saturday night?
Okay.
So it was, I don't know, it was just more fun. I don't know how it is now. Do people still go out to bars now or clubs now?
I think they do. I've got a young niece that goes out to bars and clubs.
Good.
So they do
I don't know
still
what happens anymore.
I don't know.
But do they have the confidence to meet in person nowadays?
Yeah, that's would be interesting to know. If you're at a bar nowadays, would you start going up and chatting to whoever to try to get a date, which is what we would do?
Yeah.
Or is it just left up to finding them on socials or
it's
dating
easier.
apps?
It would have to be easier finding them on apps and stuff, but then there's more crap to wade through as well.
Yeah. And I did mention in the intro the good old DP. I was just thinking back to the past. Like, if you wanted to do any raunchy pics, you would have to take them, go get them developed, have someone like actually see them, wait for a week, and come get them back.
I thought you'd use an Etch-a-Sketch.
No. 1800s. Let me draw you a picture.
Paint me like one of your French girls. Oh, God. I remember my first DP.
Yeah. Were you unsolicited?
Terrible. It was terrible because it was so small. And I was like, what the hell? You have the confidence to do that? And then on the dating apps, people just send them. Sometimes.
Oh, really?
It's like, go away.
That's the thing, the unsolicited DPs. It's different, I suppose, if
no
you ask for it.
one likes them.
No, the girls don't like them. The boys like taking, the girls don't like them.
Slug. I don't know. I'll go to the zoo for that.
It's not pretty.
It ain't pretty.
No.
You can't pretty it up. Put some to yourself.
Tassels on it. Put some effort.
Spray some glitter. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not dating anymore because I think if I was to date again, I wouldn't.
That's the thing. I feel like if anything would happen, which it won't, I'm very happy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know where to begin. And I don't think I would.
I think I'm done.
Yeah, I think I'm done too.
Yeah. I'm ready to hermitize. Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. It's time for Besties. What are the best dance scenes in movies?
Yes.
Oh, Miz, this was so fun.
It was fun, and you'll probably, for all our long-term listeners, realise we've touched on a few of these in the past. We're bringing them all together. Let's just jump in.
Go on.
All right. So the first one that came to mind, because I think we had talked about it recently, was the movie Centre Stage.
Oh, yeah.
With the ballet dancers. Now, I found the movie a bit bleh. Like,
I like the movie.
I'll take that back. I actually did love the movie.
Okay.
But I thought the acting was crap.
Okay.
But the final scene where they're presenting this showcase of ballet dancing, and they're doing, it's sort of like a mishmash of traditional ballet.
Yes,
some cool
modern
dancing. And there's got one scene where like the main character, lead dancer, is doing sort of swaying, and she bobs down and she pops back up, and she's got this bright red dress on and red lipstick all of a sudden. Confident. And it goes, Jamiroquai, dance. All you want to do now is dance.
It's just that adding modern music to ballet.
Yeah.
So cool.
So cool. Very, very fun.
Now, Miz, I've got a bit of a long one here.
Okay.
Okay. Grease.
Yes.
Starring John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John.
Yep.
And it was the dance competition. Now,
Rydell High.
at Rydell High.
Yep.
And the song was Born to Hand Jive.
Oh, okay.
And
I thought you were going to say something.
but watching it back, it's so loose, right? Pure fantasy. And what happened there would not fly today. As a parent now, I question, where are the chaperones? Because the chaperones were shit.
Are you talking about like the bad part was the TV presenter?
Oh, I'm going to go on to that.
Yep.
And the looseness of the older presenter hitting on Marty, who was a teenager. How dare that would not fly today.
I
that
know.
was gross. So he was prowling for her.
He was so sleazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the dance moves replicated violence, sex. A girl allows her partner to drag her across the room with her legs in the air for everyone to see what she had for breakfast. Patty Simcox, and she gets pants. So someone lifts up her dress and she got pants.
Yeah.
The teacher lifted in the air. And I was like, this is so loose. And then Mez out of nowhere, like a fart ripping through a quiet room, the saxophone goes and out comes Chacha Di Gregorio. And she is like the most 40-year-old teenager you would ever see.
They are so old, these actors, yeah.
Can dance, but she starts dancing seductively and stealing Kaniki. And then she steals Danny Zuko.
And ending with the blue moon. Like, but going into that dance scene, the bit where Johnny and Sandy come in and doing the dun, 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 dun. Yes, so they come in radiating joy, and then then what's her name again?
Chacha Di Gregorio.
She's prowling on the outside.
Like
she does
a
that prowl.
cat.
Yes,
like a cat on heat.
Ready to pounce.
Yeah, that was so loose.
Yeah, but it was a great scene.
It's a good scene,
Yeah.
but that should not fly today.
Yeah,
and
true.
this is the change in the involvement we've gone through.
But the whole movie, the whole premise of the whole movie, even at the end, like how great, is the Sandy, tell me about it, stud. And then, she totally changes her look for him. So
to change yourself for a man.
No. Yeah. But it was.
I still love it though.
Yeah, me too.
Sellouts.
Okay, so we've talked about this one before. Dance movie, I don't know. Magic Mike. Let's just bring up Magic Mike whenever we can.
Why am I not surprised by this?
We can reminisce. Sorry, but especially the first one, and those grinding moves. He does like kind of the worm with the hip thrust. Let's just watch it. Everyone, go home and watch it. Make yourself some babies.
One I've got is the Rocky Horror Picture Show, The Time Warp.
Okay.
And again, it's like sex driven. And I think what's made this time warp dance a success is you can replicate the moves.
Yes, yeah. Everyone
loves the time warp, and it's brought back into weddings or weddings of the 80s and the 90s. And we all know the time warp.
Interesting, because I've only ever watched that movie once. I'm not a fan of it. Doesn't
float your boat?
Doesn't float my boat. But I love doing the time warp.
Yes.
The time warp again. It's a great song.
Yeah.
Good. Let's go. Classic, iconic, Dirty Dancing.
Yes.
You would bring up Dirty Dancing. Magic Mike Dirty Dancing. Obviously, we're talking about the main dance at the end where Johnny comes in, lifts her up. Yeah, but even before that, when he's dancing down the aisle, he does that spin on his knees and he's got the whole.
He's got the sweat.
He's got the sweats, open shirt, and all the dance behind him.
Yeah. Because Dirty Dancing ain't that bad after all.
Yeah.
All right. I got something a bit out there.
Yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, the muscles from Brussels, when he danced in Kickboxer, he's wearing a loose pants and a singlet top. And his hips were so loose. And I think that's an iconic dance scene.
It's funny because we did a meme on that which exploded on Facebook. But I've never actually watched the scene as a whole.
Oh, you're joking?
Nah.
Oh, so sexy.
That's my.
As a kid, I just found it so sexy. So he was drunk.
As a kid, I found it so sexy. That's like me and the guy from Lost Boys with the. That's our equivalent. I'm going red. It's okay. It's okay. This one again, we have referenced before because we talk about dance movies a lot. I think Honey. Honey with
Yes.
Jessica Alba. So we're talking early 2000s when hip hop and R&B are huge, and a bonus, if you got the DVD, they had a special section which broke down the dance moves.
Yes.
And Fonz and I both tried to learn it.
Yes.
Unsuccessfully, I think. Well, I did it.
Did I do it with you? Because I did it with someone else too.
Okay.
I've done it twice.
Possibly.
But I remember going to my friend's house. We watched Honey and saw that part of the DVD and we were learning it.
Oh, no. I remember learning by myself in my bedroom in front of the mirror. And this white girl can't dance. I'll tell you that
You
much.
can dance.
I could dance a little
You
bit.
danced Beyonce style. I remember people would stop in the nightclubs to watch her dance. We got letting for free in nightclubs because she could dance.
Okay, my hips did move.
They did not lie.
Had a life of their own, I must say.
It was very good.
But like the choreo, I can do freestyle like that.
Yeah.
I could. I can't do it anymore. But choreographed moves, no, I could.
Really?
Yeah, like I just didn't have the.
You just got to get the muscle memory.
Yeah, I do.
All right, I got another one for you.
Yeah.
Titanic, when Jack took Rose downstairs.
Yep.
And they were playing Irish
Yeah.
music.
I love the Irish music.
And
scene.
they were dancing, and then he does his little foot
Yeah.
solo.
Yeah.
And then she whips her shoes off and does a foot solo too,
Yeah.
saying, class cannot divide them.
Yes.
And they're dancing. And being a kid or a teenager watching that, I would have rather be downstairs
100%.
dancing like that, having a good drink than upstairs with the snorts.
Yeah, I'm still like that.
Yeah.
So
I know, I don't mind a bit of snootiness.
So I don't do the snorts. My husband and I try to do the fancy restaurants, like, just give me a chips and parma any day.
Oh, no, give me a
Escargot?
a good escargot and a tiny fork any day.
You say that. Give me a good escargot. I'm going to give you some bad ones.
All right.
Most of the bad ones, like, they're so just cringy now. Maybe they weren't at the time. The first one wasn't at the time.
Mm.
The movie White Chicks. Do you remember this?
Oh,
With the
yeah, I never
Wayans
really
brothers?
watched White Chicks.
Well, there's got a scene in it where they have a dance-off. And I think any dance-off, you're leading to cringiness. And basically, it's like the popular girls doing dance-off with the unpopular girls, and then the Wayans brothers come in. Still a show. But the moves where they do the sprinkle and they're like, we're going to show these girls. And it's not meant to be cringe.
Oh, okay.
It is so bad. And I'm going to put it up on the socials.
Please.
Along with, I'm sure you've seen this meme. It's the epitome of bad dancing in a movie. It's Hayden Panettiere.
Yeah.
Bring It On. And it's learning crumping. And the guy's like, got an angry dance. And she's like, He goes, come on, do it. And she starts crumping, which is like an aggressive form of hip hop, I suppose. But and she's in a gym and she starts to. It's so bad.
I need to see this.
You need to see it. I will put a link in the show
Please.
notes.
I need to
Gents,
watch it.
It is so good because it's so bad. I'm putting it out there.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's start Googling after this.
Yep.
I'll check the show notes. I put 13 going on 30. They've got
Jennifer
Garner. She wants to get the party started. So she gets, now I've forgotten his name, the Hulk guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mark
what's his name?
Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo up. She's, come on, do the Thriller. And it's just so cringe.
Lesson learned to any dance movies going on. Don't do the choreographed
No.
grip scene. No. Bad. That's it for today.
Thank you for joining in. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you are listening to us from. Also, if you want to share some content, a story of your own, jump onto our Speakpipe. It's in our socials, in the link tree there. And tell us your thoughts. Mariana edits them really well. So if you think you're rambling, she'll edit it out.
Yeah, just speak, and we will listen to you.
Speak into the pipe.
Thank you very much for hanging around to the end. If you're still here, we hope you come back again next week.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.